Carmelo Anthony has cleared waivers and is expected to inform the Rockets that he'll sign a one-year, $2.4 million deal with the team. Max?
Yep.
Think this is a good fit, Carmelo and the Rockets?
No, but I think there's a bigger point here, which is that there's real irony with Carmelo going to a D'Antoni-coached team when, in fact, I'm here to tell you that Carmelo's chance to be a true superstar, to be an all-time great player in the upper echelon, he blew it when he ran D'Antoni out of town in New York. He ran D'Antoni out of New York, and that was his chance. Now, you might say, well, the next year, Carmelo Anthony led a 50-plus win team, and clearly their best player. The team was built around him, and it wasn't a great team. And they won a playoff series. Like, look at that. But that was a dead end. That's as far as he could go. And since then, what's happened to Carmelo? He's gotten worse every year. No one considers him a star player anymore. Just cleared waivers. If he was a star player, he wouldn't clear waivers. Look, the fact is that the league was changing out from under Carmelo Anthony's feet. And when he was on Team USA and they were getting up and down, he was sometimes the offensive focal point. He showed he was capable in playing an up-tempo style. And really the league has changed more than anyone. D'Antoni has affected that change. So at a time when Carmelo could still get it and still become a greater player, because he was a great player, he balked, runs D'Antoni out of town, doesn't learn how to play that way. The league changes. His style of play is now much less effective, and now he's going to a D'Antoni-coached team when it's really too late.
First of all, I think you're wrong about the D'Antoni angle because I think that D'Antoni himself has made adjustments as a coach that people never perceived him making. He's not the same coach that he was back in 2008. I didn't blame Carmelo Anthony one bit for not supporting D'Antoni's vision at that time. This D'Antoni is far different than that one from 10 years ago. That's number one. Number two, I got to say this. It is clear that Carmelo Anthony is not what he used to be. Nobody's going to deny that. I'm not about to sit up here and call him a star anymore, anything like that. But I got to tell you something. My man getting a bad rap. And I'm going to tell you why he's getting a bad rap. We're talking about a career 24.7 point per game scorer. We're talking about an individual that before he arrived in OKC last year has never averaged less than 20 points a game in his career. Ever. From his rookie year through the first 15 years of his career, he has never averaged less than 20 a game. And when does he average less than 20, Will? Max? When he arrives in OKC with Russell Westbrook, who Kevin Durant left for a reason, who, by the way, had to figure out a way to gel with Russell Westbrook and Paul George while being coached by Billy Donovan, who I like and respect, but clearly has to figure things out as an NBA coach that he didn't have to figure out as a two-time national champion collegiate coach. So when you take all of those things into account, don't act like that didn't play a role in what we saw or didn't see from Carmelo Anthony last year. So with that in mind, let me add this last point. Where are you going to? Houston. As great and mercurial and fantastic as Russell Westbrook is, James Harden's a little bit different. CP3 is a lot different. And when we talk about facilitating things in such a fashion that makes guys look better, I definitely think playing with CP3, one of the great point guards this game has ever seen, I definitely think that is a step in the right direction. I predict that Carmelo Anthony not only will have a better year, but he'll certainly be an upgrade offensively from what Trevor Ariza was.
Give me a second here. I want to ask Stephen A. a question. But first of all, let me start with where I agree with you.
Sure.
I think you're right. I think Carmelo's getting a bad rap. I believe in value. It's all the price you pay for something. The truth of the matter is that 20-point-per-game player you talk about was overpaid. Those were on some bad teams. That was a guy who believed he was a superstar, and that's not the guy it is anymore.
When was he overpaid?
Hold on. What I'm talking about is that's not who he is anymore, man. That's not the value. I'm not saying
he is.
But that doesn't mean he isn't undervalued right now.
That's right.
And that's where I am. Right now, the buy you're getting on Carmelo Anthony, that's a steal.
Well, clearly nobody's saying he's Max Will if he's getting paid $2.4 million.
Now,
nobody's saying that.
But listen to this. Max just said nobody thinks of him as a superstar anymore. And
not a superstar, no.
There's one guy that does, and that's Carmelo Anthony.
No, he doesn't.
So this is my question to you.
He knows better.
To fit in, he's got to see himself in Houston as at least a third option.
No.
Perhaps a bench player. Is he ready to accept that to make this a good fit?
Let me tell you why he doesn't have to view himself as a third option. Because CP3 will decide who that option is.
CP3 plays off ball.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Is he going to decide Carmelo over James Harden?
Now because he wanted to. We all know that James Harden is the star. We all know that CP3 was looking forward to going to Houston because he wanted to play some off ball because he got tired of having the ball this. That means James Harden can play the point for you with CP3 on the floor. But what I'm saying to you is that CP3 is the kind of guy, and James Harden, the point guard, not the off guard, the point guard, when he's playing the point guard. Those two are trusted enough by the people they play with that you ain't fazed by that.
You guys are missing the point. I agree he's undervalued because you can get him for peanuts now, and he has a meticulously developed offensive skill set. You know, he in terms of scoring the ball, he can do it from anywhere. As an ISO scorer, he's one of the best who ever lived, and he can still do a lot of that. That's valuable. He's a bad defender. He's a bad defender at multiple positions. He is an ISO scorer, and when I say he blew his chance to truly be a superstar with D'Antoni, what I mean is in a system where the ball would have moved much more. He could apply those skills in a way in which the modern NBA has developed. But as a ball stopper, which people accused him of at the time.
Ain't going to happen in Houston. Not with CP3.
I agree. Look, I think he's better than nothing.